Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17.
Today on Hebrews Toy Reviews, we will be reviewing the very last action figure I own from the Batman Forever Retro Toy Collection. Today on Hebrews Toy Reviews.
Here and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebrews Toy Reviews. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke his crotch. What do you think about her? I was playing tennis with some games. This is the owner, Daniel.
Hello everybody and welcome to Hebrews Toy Reviews. Today we'll be talking about the last of my collection from the Batman Forever toy line, the retro reissued, or whatever you want to call it, Batman Forever DC Retro Collection, Target exclusive, Two-Face. I don't know if I said that in the pre-intro or not. Guess we're going to find out. But anyway, so this will be the last of the Batman Forever thing that we're doing. I think I might do, I've got the Adventures of Batman and Robin Riddler. That will be a extra, a bonus feature, if you will. But until then, with no further ado, let's get to the review. Alright folks, here we are. This is the final Batman Forever Retro Toy Review, and when we do the comparison, you will definitely see the difference. So this is Batman Forever Two-Face. The figure, of course, was based off of the movie figure and the original movie figure, which I will show you here in a minute. First of all, I got a couple things that's wrong with this figure. The color here, this leopard patch that's on his suit, it's all wrong. There's actually two patterns when they did the original. The necktie is wrong because it is actually red with yellow and black dots on the original figure, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. This hand is wrong because he didn't even have, as far as I remember, he didn't even have a black glove, or maybe he did and just didn't see it coming. But the original figure actually has a gun in this hand, and this hand is wrong because the thumb is more predominantly like this, so you could do the flipping of the coin action. In the face, well, the face actually looks pretty good. I like the cover art. I think I do remember him wearing that glove in the movie at some point. Let's now turn this over. And as you can see, it shows Two-Face right there in front. And here are the figures we've already reviewed. And the Superman figure, that might be next month. Who knows? But anyway, another thing they didn't do is include his weapons. Now, with that being said, here is the original Two-Face. As you can see, we got the... let's put some light on the subject, shall we? There we go. Now, you can see it more clearly. As you can see, this hand, as I explained a while ago, has the predominant like thumb thing where it looks like he's, whoosh, you know, gonna flip a coin, whereas this one doesn't. And on the suit, as you can see, you have leopard print, but you also have zebra print. And the necktie, as I mentioned a while ago, as you can see here, let's get a closer view. You've got a red tie with yellow, almost like leopard type spots, I suppose. And over here, and of course his costume is darker, but that they got that part right. They got the face right. This was probably a darker shade of purple when it first came out. The boots. There is one detail on one of the boots that I don't know if it's... Without taking the figure out of the package, I can't really tell if that detail was left out. But on one of the shoes, not boots, on one of the shoes, there was a shiny silver looking thing. I think that was to indicate that the figure had steel toe shoes. And as I mentioned before, in this hand, he's actually using a gun. Now, the gun is permanently fixed in his hand, so maybe this action figure, I'm not going to lie, I do like the idea. I like this better where the gun isn't fixed to his hand. However, I hope they didn't do that for reasons of like, oh, well, kids, you know, they shouldn't have guns or this and that. I know YouTube is against us saying that word. We're supposed to say pew pew or whatever the hell. But that's stupid. And also, I'm not doing that. But if you look closely, it's not on the figure, but on the cover art, the artwork, this going down his wrist is some sort of leopard print. And over here, you can actually see the zebra print that's supposed to be on the costume, or his suit, I should say. And that seems to be the only difference, being the glove. And of course, you got all the, you know, the Batman Forever of all the question marks and all that. So, pushing this figure aside, the original figure came with what I call a saw blade two-headed coin. There's the one that, but actually it's not, because there's an eagle on the back of it for some reason. Now they got the first part right, but they didn't include the second face on the coin scratched off. They decided to put an eagle on there for some reason. And if you pushed a button, saw blades would come out. Now that was that weapon. The other weapon he came with was a Gatling gun. And this had projectiles in here that you could fire, actually fire off with the, pull back the hammer, and voila. It even has what appears to be a cylinder. Of course, that's not a working cylinder. But I really wish they would have put more effort into these action figures. Meaning, I also wish they would have gave them their original weapons. I'm not sure what happened there, if they ran out of funds to do it, if it was cheaper just to make the action figure, if they thought people wouldn't notice. I don't know. But that, to me, means that none of these figures are true retro figures. They did it right with Ninja Turtles. They did it right with Ghostbusters. This toy line was just the pits from start to finish. I mean, the figures look okay. The card art looks okay. But none of these resemble the actual Batman Forever action figures. except for the Riddler. The Riddler's the only one, and I even question that because I think there might have been some kind of hologramic sticker in the middle of the Riddler's chest. But anyways, that does it for this review. Please like, sub, and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And we'll see you in the next. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the final review of the week. I will come back next week with some Ninja Turtles action figures. We're going to do a movie turtle, and we're going to do the retro Ninja Turtle, the shellback, where you can put their weapons in their shells. But that's next week. I enjoyed doing all of these reviews, and like I said, maybe on Saturday I'll have a bonus for you. But until then, just remember, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you next time.